Do you like saving money? Are you a fast boy? Have you spent too much time getting bad advice from people on forums? Let's set the record straight on how to save money on your motorcycle insurance. All right guys, I gotta calm down a little bit, but we've done some research on some of the sneaky and weird things that people do to try to save some money on motorcycle insurance. And if you're not doing this stuff, chances are you probably know someone else who is, and it's not gonna help them at all. In fact, it's probably gonna cost you a lot more in the long run to do these things. So today we're gonna check out 7 myths there are about motorcycle insurance and saving money on them. Before we begin, today's video is proudly supported by Progressive Insurance. Progressive is one of our newest partners on the channel. We are extremely proud to be working with them. Make sure you click the link down below and get yourself a free quote and see how you can save money on your motorcycle insurance. Now let's get started with the first myth. Take it away, Spite.
Now the first thing that we've seen is that people say you don't need insurance. Why do people say that? Because they think it's a scam, and I sort of see where they're coming from with that. I mean, you do need insurance to drive on a public road, and if you have a clean driving record, you don't need it, right? Wrong.
Driving on the street can be super unpredictable. You've got constantly changing conditions, from cars pulling out in front of you, jamming on their brakes, or texting while they're driving. You've also got wonderful woodland critters coming out to give you a nice old hug, and potholes the size of your mama. The kind of person who brags about not riding with insurance is the sort of person who also brags about not riding with a helmet because they're never gonna go down, bro.
Not to mention that getting pulled over while driving without insurance is a great way to get a massive fine or potentially lose your license. Let me tell you, as somebody who's been involved in more than one motorcycle accident, it's important to have insurance. It's something that's better to have and not need than need and not have.
Another myth that we hear way too often is that motorcycling is too expensive due to the insurance costs. Now, you'll often hear this being espoused by some 18-year-old kid who's using his graduation money to go out and buy himself a liter bike, and then he's confused as to why he's paying out through the nose for insurance. Now, a lot of things are going to impact how much your insurance is going to be. Number one, it's the type of bike that you're on. If you're on a sport bike versus a cruiser versus a dual sport or something like that, all 3 of those kinds of motorcycles are going to have different types of insurance costs. Additionally as well, subsets of sport bikes or cruisers might be more than others. I'm thinking of stuff like the MT-09 versus a Gixxer 250. Both are sport bikes, but one has been looped and wheelied and crashed more than the other one, so insurance companies are going to see that. The second big thing to consider is how old you are. You'll likely notice if you're over the age of 25 that your insurance costs dramatically went down after your age 25. Now that's because insurance companies normally look at someone who's younger as having less experience on the road and more likely to incur an accident or some sort of incident. And the final thing are those accidents and incidents. If you have a history of accidents or incidents on your motorized vehicle, your insurance premiums will probably go up as well. Now, not every ticket from a traffic enforcement officer is going to automatically increase your insurance premiums. For example, a parking ticket usually isn't really going to do much. Let me show you what I mean. Now, if you were to leave your Gixxer 250 parked on the sidewalk like this, you'd probably get yourself a parking ticket, but that's not going to do anything to your insurance. Now, if you were to be doing 160 miles per hour with your buddies on the freeway, you're probably going to get yourself a reckless driving ticket, and that's going to massively impact your insurance. Now, in most states, you can complete a driver's safety course or something like that to help reduce your overall liability on your driver's card and then get yourself back to a better place with your insurance.
Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been out on a ride and picked up a nail in your tire and forgot to pack a plug kit? Well, now you're stuck on the side of the road waiting for a tow truck, or maybe you're waiting for your buddy to come rescue you with a trailer or a patch kit of his own.
Bet you wish you had that roadside plan now, didn't you? Thought you'd save some money by not getting it, but then you start to think about it and you're like, wait, how much is a tow truck? How much is AAA? How much is this and how much is that? Well, it's actually going to be a lot cheaper if you just get yourself roadside coverage. It's literally only a few dollars per year. Yeah, seriously, just a few dollars per year. You can save yourself the embarrassment of having your bike over on the side of the road or having to call your buddy to get you out of this jam.
The next myth I wanted to talk about is one that we've already covered before, but it bears repeating because it's super important. And that is that liability coverage is not enough coverage. You might think that you've got your state minimum liability coverage and you're good to go. Well, technically that's enough to get you on the road, but it might not be enough to get you back on the road in the event of an accident. Now let's say that you're a brand new rider and you've run out and you've financed yourself this Rebel 1100 right here. Now between your monthly payments and your rent and food and whatever else you're subscribed to, you might need to get yourself some savings somewhere. And you might think, well, insurance is the way to go. I can get cheaper coverage by, just not paying as much, not getting the full comprehensive coverage. Well, that's going to end up costing you in the event that you get into a wreck. Here's why. In Texas, minimum coverage covers other people in the event that a crash is your fault. You and your bike are not covered. That's super important because it means that in the event of a crash, if you damage your motorcycle, you have to pay for everything, and that adds up quick. You'll get $30,000 of injury coverage for each injured person, excluding you, up to $60,000 per accident, and $25,000 of property damage per accident, none of which goes to your motorcycle. Now, while that might sound like a lot of money, you'd be surprised how quickly you actually burn through $60,000 worth of medical bills and $25,000 worth of property damage. Instead of getting limited liability coverage, you're better served by getting comprehensive coverage and saving money by playing with your deductible. You can raise your deductible a little bit to end up bringing your premiums down. Not to mention that with Progressive, when it comes time to renew your policy, you can pay all at once to save yourself a little bit of money. So if you save throughout the year, you can pay your next year off all at once, save yourself some cash. Another small brain move I've seen people making is skimping out on gear and accessories coverage on their motorcycle. They think, oh, well, I've got plenty of money to cover that stuff, or I didn't put that much on my motorcycle to begin with, or my gear's not all that expensive. But you'd be surprised how quickly that adds up. In fact, why don't we take a look at my personal motorcycle right here, track all of the mods and riding gear I wear, see how much it costs. Arrow slip-on exhaust, $480. Power Commander 5, $380. KTM comfort seat, $190. CRG bar end mirror set, $270. Heated grips, $200. Rear wheel ABS dongle, $115. Road lock disc lock, $345. KTM Power Parts orange mirror block off screws, $10. AGV AX9 Dual Sport helmet, $550. Alpine Stars Chrome Sport hoodie, $200. Alpine Stars SMX5 boots, $200. See what I'm talking about? That stuff adds up. And the best part is that Good Guy Progressive will give you $3,000 worth of gear coverage free with your policy. If you want any more than that, it is going to cost you a little bit extra, but trust me, it is worth it. I'm not going to be buying all of this stuff all over again. It costs more than my DRZ 400.
Now, number 6 is a bit of a funny one, and I've seen it floating around on the internet. It's that if you insure your car and your bike through 2 different companies, you can actually keep your premiums down, because if you get tickets on one versus the other, they're not going to know. Well, that doesn't exactly hold up to scrutiny, and here's why, kiddos. Now, here's how it actually works. Your driving record is recorded independently of any insurance company. That's why whenever you sign up for a quote, they're usually going to ask if you've had any incidents, accidents, traffics, or tickets while you're on your motorized vehicle. And if you don't answer truthfully, it's probably going to impact your rates as well. And now that's why any claim, accident, or any sort of incident you have on one policy will definitely affect your other vehicle's policy as well. For example, if you have a claim on your truck, it will probably affect your motorcycle policy by going up as well. Now, the best way to save money is by actually bundling your vehicles together. Here at Yamanoob HQ, we've bundled all the bikes together, so we get a pretty hefty discount. But if you've got just a truck and a bike, or a car and a bike, you can get yourself a discount that way too. Now, one of the final mistakes we see when it comes to insurance is just simply putting your policy on a set it and forget it mentality. A lot of people think that their policy has the best price and the best coverage, and they don't even bother to shop around once they've got something in place. But the easiest thing you can do is click the link down below and get yourself a free quote to see if you can save yourself some coin on your insurance policy. That's why we're super proud to be partnering with Progressive. They're the proud sponsor of today's video, and they've done a lot of right by us, and we want to make sure that we do a lot of right by them. So thank you so much to them for supporting this video. I'm going to wrap it up here today. Remember to click the link down below, get yourself a free quote, and we got a bunch of free motorcycles we're giving away. Hit up yamanoob.co or YNMoto or Yamanoob merch and get yourself entered to win our free bikes. And don't forget, at 1 million subscribers, the Turbo Hayabusa will drop. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Oh, hey, you're still here. I can't believe you made it to the end of the video. Not many people do. Just for you, I have a little treat. Hit this link over here. Check out the next video on the Yamanube catalog. What's gonna happen in it? I don't really know. Maybe there's a boost in it. Maybe there's some cool wheelies. Maybe there's some fun memes. Probably. Who can say?